Thing starting. Recording is up. And now we go to Twitch. Twitch.
Hello.
Oh, we're still traveling to Texas.
Twitchy.
I don't really want to go to Texas.
I don't either. It's hot there.
It's hot there, and there are Texans in that state.
I live in California,
Fair.
in the freaking desert. It's always hot here.
California at least has seasons.
Yeah.
No,
California.
we have two. No, Southern California has two seasons: summer and fire season, where it's so damn hot, shit just bursts into fire.
I mean
We
that's
have that in
Oklahoma.
Eastern Washington. The Eastern Washington has two states of being: snow and on fire. Eastern Washington is the Song of Ice and Fire.
Okay, so I would like to point out that I have my list. I'm going to roll a D9. That will determine what I play.
A D9. Interesting.
A D9 because I
Wait,
can.
no. Before you roll, add a 10th option that is roll again. You're a hybrid of the first and second, and then roll a D10.
That's actually beautiful. Yes. I have to change it. I will roll 1D1.
1D1.
A 4. Bearded dragon.
Aw.
I'm gonna be.
You'll be small.
I will be a
and
pancake
angry.
lizard. Yes.
Excuse me,
Okay.
my sweeties. How dare you insult my cousins?
Tygon,
Yes.
what kind of... I know this is going to be a playtest, this is going to be semi-one-shots. What sort
Yes.
of objectives do we want for character creation?
Okay. Well, first, let me begin for what's it? Posterity, and
Yes.
no, just as an introduction. This is episode 0 of my new campaign, which at least for now I am simply calling HSD Second Edition Test Campaign.
That's
Because I'm super creative, and that's what it is. To reiterate, this is not going to be one single big ongoing campaign like Exhibit 13, but, like the Yin just said, since this is more focused on testing, we are doing several smaller, one-shots or one-offs or whatever you would call it. That allows us to get into the action a bit more quickly, to get different situations, and also for you to try out different characters and at different levels and everything. And you have an eraser. I'm proud of you, Rezi.
I found it.
And so, yes. Now for this first one, we are doing starting level characters,
Okay.
and as far as I'm concerned, you can play pretty much anything you want. Now, would be kind of nice to have a let's say diverse cast.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody wanted to play a cog, that would probably help.
Mm-hmm.
If someone wants to play a blip or even a bioprobe, go ahead.
Okay.
And there will definitely be combat. Probably a bit more than in Exhibit 13, at least, relatively speaking. Because combat needs to be tested. That's a fact.
Okay.
So not everybody. Please don't everybody make non-combat characters. There might have been a situation in Rage's game where basically, we need to fight this guy to get past him. Okay, who's good in CQC? Anybody?
Dead
Hello?
silence. To be fair, the character I was running in that game was very good at shooting people. We just didn't want to Indiana Jones this situation because that would have been rude.
I would like to point out that I adapted my character to be able to do CQC using ranged abilities because I just wasn't able to make the body stats really work. So I was able to function in close quarters combat using range crap.
Which is fair enough.
Well, we already know I'm gonna be what I'm gonna be, so the dice have spoken.
I'm interested to kind of maybe try a cog though.
Cogs are cool. You could be a cogtor.
Cog Naga.
Kaga?
Kaga?
Kaga.
Cognaga actually is an option though,
Mm-hmm.
because
They're also really cool.
for the well, not from the outset, but the way cogs work now is you still pick your frame, which is basically your morphism, and the variations on each frame. Like for the like for the wheeled cog, the one that has like treads instead of wheels. That's a specialization. Those now work basically like reclamation surgeries.
So, bearded dragon tar.
And just to let me finish, there was. I mean, I will probably check these specializations. Where are you? There was a specialization for the tentacled frame, which is Naga locomotion. So instead of a bunch of tentacles as your legs, that's just. I mean, it doesn't say specifically that it's long snake-like body, but that's what I'm referring because it's called Naga locomotion. The rules say change your shape to long, decrease base mass by 1.
That's really cool.
Okay. Like I said, I haven't read into it just yet with the cogs, but as long as that frame is available from the start, I'll do that.
All right. So character creation.
See, I'm afraid a bearded dragon tar is just too silly. This sounds
Maybe
excessive.
a little.
This sounds excessively silly.
I mean, you'd be a pancake with a humanoid torso sticking out of it.
And the gotta go fast run at like half a mile an hour.
The reason you're slightly slower than everyone else is you're just frantically trying to get traction.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of cardio. It just doesn't do much for me.
I like the touch on the family list on I think it's page 51. Is Canidae has all theirs, Felidae has all theirs. Avialae. Common species includes crows, eagles, hawks, macaws, and redacted.
Mm-hmm. That always makes me happy. It's like, oh, that's a hoot.
Ba-dum-dumps.
Thank you, Discord, for being broken. Appreciate it.
Maybe not. Maybe I'll give Cog a roll next time. Let's go normal snake.
Let's see. I'll just give him extra arms. So when he crosses his arms, it's even more intimidating. Are there any new backgrounds or anything?
I didn't see any. They did change some of the actual little details here and there, from what I could tell.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, Dubious Origin, I know.
Yeah, they didn't change any anything, any of the. They didn't add any. Just change some of the wordings and stuff.
So I'm gonna create a character as well. I am just going to create Cassiopeia again.
Cassiope?
That was your first one, right?
Nope. Cassiopeia is my Sphinx character.
Yep, I remember you mentioning that a while ago. When we were talking about doing the Empyrean thing.
Yep.
I should just.
I was like, no. We don't want to work with the Blitz because we don't have the rules for that yet. And now we do.
Well, I mean, it's she also wouldn't really have fit background-wise.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So the family list, they actually include where owls would have been, but there's just a big redacted.
Yep.
Yep, that's what I was saying. I also like how they expanded the orders as well. My roommate, Graphs, was insanely happy to see lemurs.
Can't imagine why.
Lemes. I should make a hyena bat hybrid and just be a Kubro.
No.
I mean, we'd have to get you.
Okay. One of my other characters is gonna be a Chocobo, so.
Here's the thing: save that for. So wait, you're gonna be a bird tar?
No, I was thinking just a bird with lover stance.
Oh, that works too. So save the Kubro for when we do high level, so you can get some living armor while you're at it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Whoops.
No, wait.
Oh wait, no, I'm on this side.
No, okay. That I was thinking about that. It's like birds with the tauromorphism are angels.
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
I was like thinking for a second, and like the wheels were just grinding. Like, wait a minute, what does that look like?
Let's see, ASR, no. Pulse is the body mod one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Pulse is biomods. The picture we are looking at is ASR, their rifles.
Female corp education.
Oh no, they have red pandas.
Oh
Yes,
no,
they have
I might have to
paper.
re-roll. Remake that list and roll again.
Yes, they have panderps.
Oh.
I'm thinking. I'm gonna do a boar. That sounds fun.
Biggie.
I will be a big pig. Be mad all the time.
Be the angriest of bacon.
No bacon. Say bacon one more time.
Bacon, 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 bacon.
I take it you've seen that animation then.
I don't think I have.
I'm
You'll have to link that to me later.
I don't know if I still have it on hand or not.
I'm
Please.
going to be right back, actually. I just need to use the restroom. Sorry.
Okay. I have been given an update.
Hmm?
My hard stop is in 2.5 hours instead of 3.
I think that's how you spell Sphinx. Okay.
So I have 1 less hour than I thought I did.
I'm sure we can do some. We can get something done. So, no. Shape is long, not lion. Lion is not a. Well, it should be, but it's not.
Your bias is showing.
Yeah, so I'm proud of it.
So, you can't stop me.
So. It's a lot of stats.
For sake of inconsistency, I'm not allowing myself spyglass or IRPF. Actually, I might make an exception for IRPF.
Okay, where are my notes? There we go. Family Felidae. That gives me simplified checks involving stealth. Well, let's check. Let's read this to actually make sure that we do it right and not that anything stealthily changed. Yeah, boons can say it out. Okay, there. Select one of the listed proficiencies by your family and mark them as a boon on your sheet. To remaining become faults, mark those as well. You can also select one reclamation ability from your family at this time if your character is a vector. Cogs are granted specialization later instead. Blips choose any family ability and any boon fault combination listed, but must pull their beginning reclamation ability from the general category instead of a specific family. Marking a character from an order is the same as marking a character from the family it's associated with. Then you will still have one boon and 2 faults. So, a Sphinx is mostly kitty.
Wow.
Indeed.
I
So,
did that my own cat just like meowed back at me.
boon fault selection: stealth, athletics, and communication. Well, stealth is definitely becoming a fault. I think I'm gonna put the boon in athletics. The other fault in communication.
I would like to say, because I just thought of it.
And back.
Welcome
Yes.
back. That Shark Boy never earned the preeminence for computer use. He never got to rank 5 computer use.
Yeah, Kuro didn't get any preeminence in anything either, but it's mostly because he didn't need to.
I mean, I don't
Also-
think any characters in that whole campaign did.
Nope.
But I also don't think that was a big deal, you know?
Yeah.
Also, technically wasn't part of the rules we were using.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fair. It mattered. It would have mattered to my character. Let's see.
Okay, also getting 1 reclamation ability, so...
At 210. Wait, is this? Okay.
Yeah.
I think the character gen stuff is in a different order now.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait a sec, I think this was before that. Did I miss something? I was like, oh wait, no, I think he moved it around just so it would make more sense.
Yeah, no. Sev has moved a lot of things around to make it to be a little bit more streamlined.
Yay,
Which
because
I
that was one of my issues.
Yeah, because I'm kind of trying to figure it out right now. It looks like he just gives a bunch of information about everything, then around what page is this on? It's like halfway through the document. That's when you actually get to, okay, here's what that all means.
I want to take reclaimed happy landings, because that sounds like a good idea for a flying character.
Yes, it does.
No, you want them to belly flop on people. That is how they stop themselves.
Reclaimed death from above.
Exactly.
Now, the morphism is going to be lateral.
Ooh.
Select small, standard, or long. I'm gonna go with long.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's see.
Long.
Okay,
Body
so character sheet. Let's grab that character sheet. Let's grab this thing.
What gives me fault in operate?
6. Calculator. Calculator.
Also gives me a base mass of 6 when long and a movement of 4. And a perk. Perk. Your first move actions in the turn does not trigger threat responses.
That's always nice.
Yep. Player with this morphism begins the game with 2 flea reclamation surgeries of their choice from the family options that do not count against the ones they gain naturally. No player with the character did not undergo surgery. The abilities are simply part of having an animal body.
I will be right back.
Okay. Flighted laterals, like those of the Aviali family, should probably take reclaimed large wing surgery so they can stay aloft longer than half an hour. Can should probably be treated as a must in most cases, unless you have a particularly compelling flightless burn concept you want to try and a patient party.
Everyone is penguins.
Drawbacks.
Yes, we're all penguins. I call being Rico. Kowalski!
Body operate checks are double complicated. Wow. You must pass body athletics 2 to move and fire ranged weapons the same turn. Roll on the chatter chap and choice actions based on results.
Snake Naga. Boone installed?
I mean, you slither, so you probably don't make as much noise going over things.
No, at most you'd ever hear just like things shifting underneath you.
Wrestling.
I still like having the idea of having like some giant tar character being extremely stealthy.
My boyfriend has a character who's a spyglass financier whose name is Mr. Sedgir Good. So Mr. Good, the spyglass financier. And he has a bad habit of sneaking up on people despite the fact that he is, in game terms, a 2 hex long giant yellow boa Naga in a business suit.
Well, I'd like to point out that at my place of work, I'm one of the loudest people, right? It's very easy to tell when I'm coming and going. Except apparently not. Because I spend so much time being loud and obnoxious, according to some of my coworkers. whenever I'm not being exactly that, I might as well not exist and have no presence in a room. So I have on more than one occasion scared the living daylights out of every single one of my coworkers purely because I'm standing about 2 feet from them and say, "Hey, I need a thing from you," and they panic, having not realized I was standing there for the past minute waiting for them to be done doing a thing.
Yeah.
So no, I can totally relate to this, Mr. Good. I'm sorry, bud. I've been there. It's not your fault.
I had a shot glass thrown at my head by accident because I snuck up on somebody at one of the places I worked coffee. We were closed, and the barista had forgotten that I was still there because I'd been working in the back. And I stuck my head around the corner and was like, "Hey, Laura, do you need anything?" And I just hear shrieking, and then a shot glass hits the wall next to my head. I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Okay, background. I want to go with dubious origins. So dubious origins positive. So let's read up if anything has changes. First passive. You have no birth records, cannot be identified via record evidence. Yep. Second passive. You gain a random reclamation surgery, but that does not count to your total. Choose which. Any family, provided make anatomical sense. It was technically always there, it just becomes active during a narrative event.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hmm?
Oh, I was just going over. I'm going over piece by piece some of the things to make sure that I have it in my head. I've been going through too many different iterations of the rules. That was weird. Did anyone else hear that beeping?
Not particularly.
I mean, I just go to a beep, and I see a Kale go X3 face.
Okay, something else must be going on. Great. More computer shiz that I have to worry about.
Oh.
No, I'm just looking at some of the morphisms, and I noticed that some of the other ones from previous things are not here, which is fine. Not complaining. We're here to test crap.
Mm-hmm.
Several of the morphisms have moved into the personal quirks.
I was going to say, it's moved to Quirk, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Mhm.
Like I said, I'm reviewing what's there so I make sure I have it in my head.
Yeah. And that is something that makes sense. It's stuff that's like mostly cosmetic, like bioluminescence. I think horns and hooves and stuff like that. Although I may be wrong there. I don't know it off the top of my head.
Which I think that makes sense, because unlike hooves and horns, I don't feel like that really changes your character much. It's definitely more cosmetic, unless you get curb stomped by a hoof or something. I don't know.
Well, the big thing to remember, and this is part of why I'm bringing it up as I'm going over it, and this isn't just for the case of the morphisms for the vectors, but this also seems to be the case for the cogs as well. The reason that this might be important, and why I think it's probably a better idea to have made it, I guess, a second tier rather than having it be this on the same scale, is because most of those other morphisms don't affect the raw physicality of getting around and simply being a person in the same way.
I would like to point out, though, that wings and hooves and extra arms, for example, are still under a morphism.
Yes, no, all of those are under morphisms, except for hooves. Hooves are simply part and parcel of bipedal.
It shouldn't be. It was hooves were specifically mentioned under one of the morphisms.
Oh, here, I'm gonna scroll right back up to the morphisms, because I was just looking at them.
I just was too. Yeah, it's specifically mentioned under aberrant anatomy. Otherwise, it's just basic body.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is it's under aberrant or basic, yeah. So I wonder, does that mean aberrant also?
I mean, aberrant would just be if your species wouldn't normally have that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
But
basically
I think-
the old how did that get there?
Yeah.
Yeah, the old how did they get there?
I think it's also mixed with the atypical patterning.
Yeah.
No, that's its own thing.
Oh, it's still there? Cool.
Yeah,
I'm not that far
but that's
yet.
where I was trying to get at, is I haven't gotten to the personal quirks yet.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I can tell, having that second tier, having that being a separate thing, allows for a greater sense of customization.
Mm-hmm.
And not only from a numerical, raw crunch side of things, but also from a narrative side of things. And this is being reflected in both the cogs and the vectors. Sorry about that. The thing that, like, a good example, here we are, personal quirks, blah, blah, blah.
Question while you look at that up. While you find what you're looking for. Did Sev give us a ruling on if landmarks are XP earned or XP spent?
I actually hadn't thought of that.
I thought I wrote that down. I might have forgot.
What now?
If the landmarks are XP spent or XP earned.
I think it's earned. I think.
I would assume earned, but it's just one of those things. It'd be nice to know.
Yeah.
What do you mean by
Because
that?
basically the difference is, do you get their benefit when you have downtime to spend XP or immediately?
Yeah, exactly.
I always assumed that landmarks are essentially more a reflection of what you have learned so far than you are learning this, like how you're putting ranks and skills during downtime because you're actually picking up those skills during that downtime, or parsing what you have picked up.
Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things I'd like to have an official ruling.
Yeah.
XP earned makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. On that topic, that is a good point. I am actually going to set up a Google document.
Oh, I was completely expecting. And by the way, we have a special guest. It's Sev himself.
No.
I was half expecting it. It's like, oh no.
Everybody run!
Oh no, I'm gonna get us banned from the game forever.
Forever.
It's like you're not even allowed to buy a copy of it.
Oh.
You're not even
Your
allowed
name
to give me
will never
money.
be shown on the playtesters.
I know what I'm gonna do.
You did what to my beautiful setting? What have you done to my beautiful?
I've never heard him refer to his setting that way.
As beautiful. He would after I'm done with.
Sanuka, no! What have you done to my beautiful creature? You'll pay for this! Sorry, I really love Alad. I am going to actually make a character of mine that I played for a short game. She was a smuggler, actually.
I would like to point out that some of the personal quirks that are listed at the back of the PDF file, about page 250 odd.
Mhm.
Some of them are listed there that are not listed under the personal quirks at the very front of the book.
Interesting.
It's probably
Okay.
just some oversight, not a big deal, but it's just something to point out. May have been edited in the newest edition, don't know, blah blah blah. Specifically, the one that I was looking for, because that's going to be one of the main physical draws of this character, is protrusions.
Okay.
I can't be a boar without tusks. You can't do that. Not right.
That does make sense.
Unless it's a lady boar, which you could get away with that, but I'd also look at you little askins and go, but why though?
All right. Share.
Let's see here.
No, I don't even know what I want this character to be good at. All I know is that stealth boon that I have is no longer. So
Yeah.
again, Tars are not sneaky.
In the documents channel, I am posting a link to a new Google document where you can write down any feedback you might have. Wait, what does that? Where did this thing go?
Oops.
For some reason, the what's it called?
Bullet point?
Yeah, the bullet point there appeared. I accidentally put it away. I'm sorry. I don't know how to get it back. Damn it. Where is it?
There you go.
Oh, thank you. Okay, yeah. And anything that you encounter, you know, and anything at all, you know, write it down there. Under your name. And that is what we will give to Zeph eventually. Whoops.
Okay. So let's see. What do I want to do here? Do I want to make
Already points that are spent are gone.
lateral and really mess with people? just turn myself into Ganon, a giant pig, running around and yelling about darkness, just a fucking edgelord.
Have a big glowy thing on the end of your tail, and just have a big wiggly snoot.
What background?
Power!
Haven't
I
been-
pursue power.
You're drowning out Blackpaw there. What was that, Blackpaw?
Oh, I was kind of wondering what backgrounds really haven't been tested, like, haven't been played.
I've played Spacer like 3 times.
I'm picking up Haunted now.
So not that one.
Don't think Grotto Raised was one. Don't think Impoverished or Scholar.
I'm probably going to take Impoverished.
Because I guess for this character, I'm not too worried about like who they are and like giving them backstory and everything. I'm looking at this more of a play test, just
Well, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. put together and see what the hell comes out.
Have to admit, don't really like how in Dubious Origins the third passive now is a like reversible transformation.
Oh yeah, it's the werewolf isms. It's just
Yeah. But on the other hand, I have to admit that's mostly from the point of view of this particular character.
I kind of like it, for the fact of it specifically says it has a trigger,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which can lead to some fun, some fun.
Down the line, when we do more high-level characters, I might run my Pulse Werewolf dude with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
I mean, on the other hand, that's a third passive, so it's at what, 7 or 800 something XP. So not gonna happen anytime soon.
I just thought of
Yeah.
something. There,
800 XP, yeah, that's gonna be a while before it becomes a factor, if at all.
yeah. I don't even think we got that much for our normal campaign.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a move, it's not a move. It's a passive in Pokemon called Defeatist, to where you basically do less damage when your health's below half.
Mm-hmm.
You could totally have that as a thing. To where it's like, oh, my health's below. Oh no, I've taken half damage. I'm a micro now. Because obviously this isn't working. Avoid.
Or you could you could mix it with Transcendent Implants and go full prey. Like, oh no, I'm being attacked. I'm a coffee cup now.
Oh no.
Or if you want to go the werewolf route, actually, do that.
Oh, yeah,
so
you
as
could
take
actually-
a certain amount of damage.
Mhm.
Rawr!
Or if you experience the phenomenon on a full moon, which gets really terrible when there's multiple moons. Oh no, your cat has turned into dog.
Yes.
That
Actually, no.
is- I'm not. I would say please do not use the full moon thing, because that is kind of tricky
Yeah.
in the setting where it is very likely you are in an environment where there is no moon, like say Venus or
Mhm.
somewhere in space.
Or like I said, multiple moons.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
That one writing prompt that was Jupiter has dozens of moons and one hell of a werewolf problem. I'm like, that's not a problem. That's a feature.
It's not a bug. Each landmark.
There was actually a story a friend of mine has written. There was in a fantasy setting. There's a werewolf character, and it was basically we have a stupid conjunction because this world has like 13 moons, and this month they are all going to be full. I am not looking forward to this month.
Quick question.
Yes.
Oh, anagram. Never mind. Fix it. I got it. You're good. Never mind.
Okay. So, Cassiopeia has a background. Now she needs education.
I'm assuming we're not going to get to the point where notoriety will matter, but
Well, yes. That's the first landmark isn't that far away, so...
oh right, not doing just a combat test. Never mind. Either way, I'm building my character as if I would be intending to play it long term.
Mm-hmm.
Because-
Please do.
You know what I should do?
Oh no.
I should run my sneaky pulse entertainer / spyglass whistleblower. My Crendius, my fox.
Oh.
I think that'd be fun.
Which did I pick for Boone?
Yes.
Okay, I think I'll go with that grotto raised. But what does that do for education then?
You still count as having an education, if I remember correctly, but
Yeah, it's just you still use the education thing and would just say, that's just what you learned, and it doesn't really need adjustment, because you still learn things. And regarding corporation history, you can just say, oh, well, no, that's just stuff you picked up.
Yeah.
If you really want to play somebody who has no idea from their, from the world around them, then you can just ignore the corporation history.
Or just be Marsco.
I don't think you have that many faults to cancel.
Depends on what kind of base you have 2, because when you're picking species, you pick 1 boon and 2 fault, so 3 total.
Oh, okay, yeah, good point.
So, which is kind of the point of taking Marsco, is you're not bad at anything.
Mm-hmm.
Shape, base mass, and movement are determined by your morphism.
Well, I have done something that I'm very proud of.
Oh.
These are also very stupid.
Oh.
I have found a name for him.
I'm scared.
We all should be.
Oscar. His name is Oscar Fuss. And no, he's not particularly fussy. It just happens to be his name.
What corporation is he?
I don't know yet. I'ma figure it out.
Okay. Personal quirks.
What's the other one?
Let's see. Custom points.
Alright. This time, Haneker is going to be a lateral. Because I have not run a lateral.
I am going to go with +1 readiness and focus.
Standard.
Another personal quirk, because there's fun things in there. So I have 3 of those.
Question.
Yes?
For size, what should a hyena be? Standard or long?
Lateral?
I'm almost tempted to say standard.
Yeah, because they're very big, but they're big, not long.
They're-
Like, when I
they're-
think
yeah,
long
they're-
shape, I think like,
They're compact.
yeah, they're very compact. Most of their...
You can always go with standard,
Mhm.
and then use the custom options to increase your base mass if you want to be a bit more oomph.
I kind of like that idea, yeah.
And not spend and for KCP I'm not going to spend the last point, and instead get 200 additional credits, which I already know I'm going to need.
Base mass is 6.
Personal quirks, definitely gonna go with Hemi, because Sphinx.
Okay, focus is...
Going with the power of deduction, again because Sphinx, and I like the idea that just by watching somebody she knows stuff about them. Let's kick it a few times. Because technically she's an engineer.
Base.
Oh, this should be...
So yeah, I'm going with Grotto raised, positive. So I'm just thinking this character just like grew up in like a corp town that was like nothing but Nagas.
But Nagas aren't positive.
I hate you.
Punch him in his fuzzy balls.
Rude.
Make him make weird squeaking noises. That'll teach him.
So, that'll be 10 wounds, an evade of 18 and an endure of 18.
I'm not a cog.
And I'm not going to buy her armor, so...
Haunted. You may check if there's heightened kill activity.
Don't need that.
Quill
I'm
activity.
going double Marsco.
Ooh.
Actually, might go with a bulletproof vest.
Question.
Yes.
What constitutes a transcendent entity?
That's a pretty broad category, friendo.
You mean in regards for the haunted thing?
Yes.
I am positive in that case he's talking about manifestations.
Okay, so basically I could accidentally summon Yogg-Sothoth.
No.
Yes.
This it's if you scroll down to the transcendent implants,
Uh-huh.
which are after they're on at the bottom of page 295, the manifestation implants that describes the different kind of manifestations.
Okay. I want to know exactly what I'm getting my poor character into.
Some pretty horrible stuff, depending.
Let's see, that only exists as long as you look at it.
Yeah, I decided to go double Marsco. It makes sense for a person that grew up in a corp town, not linked to any main corp town. Also, got wow, my cat's going crazy.
I do like the concept of the little, exploration manifestation you can do,
Oh,
and that it only exists as long as nobody knows it's there.
I love that one. It's oddly adorable. It should not be adorable, but it is actually kind of adorable.
Oh, the mouse-sized one?
Yeah. There also was an amusing situation. In the game Seth ran a while ago, where Sammy was playing Penny,
Mm-hmm.
who had the manifestation implant, and they basically they had to leave a place behind, but she summoned the little mouse-sized one, and they left it there, just as a lookout.
Mm-hmm.
And but there's only a certain range for that, but that's just for control. That just meant that once she was outside the range, she couldn't control it anymore. It was like moving around on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, it started staring at the one single light that was in the room where it was. It was basically trapped in that room. It couldn't go anywhere else. And then it just jumped at the light, and everything disappeared. And I said, "Oh, and everybody thought, it attacked the light and got destroyed." And it was really sad because, it committed suicide or something. Oh, it's so sad. And from that on, among all the other weirdness that was happening, Penny had like sort of like a blind spot on the corner of her eye.
Mm-hmm.
Until she used her implant again to summon something else, like hours later.
Mm-hmm.
Then Seth was, that dark spot in the corner of your eyes just disappeared. Everybody, And then she was like, because I summoned another manifestation. The first one disappeared. It was there. It was still there. I just couldn't see anything because the light was gone and the room was completely dark.
Oh, that's really funny.
All right. My character is going to have impoverished negative so that they can be stealthy.
Variety landmarks. That's not...
Okay, I'm going to assume haunted means I can't control it.
Bollocks.
I would say so. Yes.
Going to assume what?
The haunted thing, haunted negative can summon things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming they're not friendly.
No, it says that anything. It says in that, or I should say in that list, that anything summoned that way behaves as it naturally would.
Yeah.
Well, considering the circumstances, should probably say unnaturally.
Yeah, fair.
Okay.
Well, I like the positive alignment ability, where if you would activate a transcendent ability or affecting your presence, you can attempt to,
That's what he meant.
yeah, the summon an owl into the scene.
Yep. Okay, guys, bye. I'm not going to be here anymore.
I like how that's somehow the positive version.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's you know, it's the character is positive towards all the transcendent stuff,
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, neat! Psychic things!
and want stuff like that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Oh, I just realized negative almost makes you an anti-mage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can kind of sync them.
Yeah, you can basically believe so hard that it won't work that it doesn't. Anti-mages are fun. More settings need those.
Well, I would like to point out that just sounds like reverse orc.
Sort of, yeah.
Reverse orc?
Orcs are clap your hands if you believe the race, i.e.
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
because
Yeah.
they collectively think things work some way, they just do.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking Warhammer
If
for
you
a second.
paint it red, it goes faster.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's right. And sure enough, it actually goes faster if it's painted red.
Yep.
Or how, like, there was the one story of the Imperial Guardsmen who tried to disassemble orcish weapons to see how they worked,
And they don't.
didn't. Because they were being fed with rounds of different caliber, and yet somehow it was feeding and firing correctly.
Fun fact, we tried to
Well-
make a revolver that did that.
Correctly.
It was a bad idea.
I remember one thing where they you know disassembled an orc weapon that had provenly been fired by an orc, and there was actually a bolt through the barrel.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So it shouldn't have been able to shoot at all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anti-mages are fun. And they basically, yeah.
Chaos is begin to grow.
hmm
So I'm going through this, and I'm looking at it, and I just realized something, and I know that this is, you know, intentionally done for story purposes, but it is rather interesting and pointed that Lumen Corp is the only direct enemy / rival of any of the other major corporations that you cannot play as a member of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're Kotsune.
I know. I was going to
Can't do that
say,
yet.
unless you meet that, in which case you could do that. But I'd like to point out that that's because said corporation is not old enough to have the infrastructure in place to have that same kind of influence as the others.
Yeah. Well, that, or you could say that anyone old enough to work for them is not young enough to have been educated by them.
Exactly.
So they might have their education packages or whatever, but for all intents and purposes, all the people working for them probably were educated by ASR, MarsCo, even IRPF.
Maybe some spyglass. Almost.
Maybe.
In fact, definitely some spyglass.
Yeah.
They want in on that.
I would also say, if anybody wanted to play somebody who's working for Lumen, they could. It's just in such a low position that it doesn't give you any advantage.
Yeah.
So
you would get no boons from it.
I mean, you still wouldn't get them as your education.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Just saying background-wise, if you want to say, yeah, I'm working for Lumen, and you're maybe working on one of their faster than light ship, but as a stewardess.
Yeah. Or hell, even as a pilot, it's just for all intents and purposes, you're just a pilot. There's nothing special about the position other than ship go fast.
I just
What
realized
sets that apart
and
is
there's
equipment.
a specific series of buttons you push, and you don't know what they do.
Yeah.
you just know you're supposed to push them.
And win. Because they told you.
Spin to win. Experience. Favor.
Okay, I think it's time to spend HP for Cassiopeia.
Oh. Probably. Scaling Adventures. 210 XP, 1,000 creds.
That's the wrong file.
Arc points. Point rewards. Reward descriptions, tie-ins, rescues. Exertion. Delay. Throwing, lifting. Did I pass up the customization points? Hacking.
You might have.
I am.
Gesundheit.
Indeed, Gesundheit.
I am.
It's on the same page as education.
I definitely passed it up then.
136.
Thank you.
Because that's me, I'm going to start with 1 point, or the first thing in all the stats.
Let's see. The character's just ready to go. 3 points to Quirks.
Oh.
Hmm?
Somebody linked me an infographic talking about, like, this somebody in another channel was talking about megastructures in sci-fi. Because I mentioned that my character was impoverished. The Tyrell Corporation headquarters in Blade Runner, the ground floor of the building is as tall as the Old World Trade Center. It is 8,172 feet tall at the apex of the pyramid.
Wow.
Damn.
The Wallace Corp building in Blade Runner 2049 is about 4 times taller than that. Because it's a space elevator.
Oh.
And the actual, because it goes the act like here's Tyrell Corp, here's Wallace Corp, and then Wallace Corp keeps going up because it's a space elevator. I'm like, I didn't know that, because you actually can't see over the clouds. You can't see through the clouds in Blade Runner. It's always an aesthetic I've been fascinated by, is that the cities where it's just like buildings as far as the eye can see with just mega structures rising out of them.
Mm-hmm. So, what you try to make your Civ City into?
Yeah, pretty much. That or what's it called? Like Half-Life. Because the Combine Citadel is actually about as tall as the Tyrell Corporation building.
You know what I kind of want?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how you can have the quirk for appearance, you have a supremely memorable appearance, beautiful or quirky or macabre or blah blah blah. You can leverage this during the... I kind of want that, but instead of like, damn, you're pretty, it's the other end of that. Which, not ugly, but you're just completely unmemorable.
I mean, yeah.
I actually, I was thinking that would be a good way to do, atypical patterning, and do a reversal where it'd be a homebrew sort of thing, but I very much agree that would be a good idea. I'm so typical of my species that no one would remember me from 1 minute to the next.
There was a perk in Shadowrun like that.
I was gonna say, because Shadowrun has a perk that's exactly that, where it's like you're so plain and so just typical, no one actually pays attention to you, thus making you a much more dangerous person to be around, simply because, hey, by the way, I might have a gun to the back of your head. You'd never have suspected me because I'm so normal.
That, or, you know, it's like, if you're trying to hide in a crowd, like, simplify, you know, community exert stealth.
Or maybe there's some shady organization of messing with your life, and all you want to do is be a pizza guy.
Hey, you leave me alone. You leave my little doggo alone. He's now living a life of adventure and seeking out purpose of his existence.
And he's basically playing like a one-man Pokemon game where his goal is to collect all of himself.
It's kind of like the Deadpool thing, except not Highlander.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so on the character sheet, like below where it says like initiative, determination, RAB, MAB.
Ranged attack bonus, melee attack bonus.
Okay. And I have no idea what determination is.
Of course. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
That's gonna be in combat. In combat, you split your readiness in initiative and determination. You know, initiative is the bonus you get to your initiative roll. Determination is how many rerolls you have for that combat.
Those change.
Is it it's possible to get more quirks, right?
Yes,
you get one with every landmark.
Okay.
What's this about quarks and subatomic particles?
Was it Commander Quark or Captain Quark?
It's
Quark
Captain
was-
Kirk, dingus.
Quark,
No,
Quark was a.
I'm talking about
was
Ratchet and
a-
Clank.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the I forget what the Ferengi from Deep Space Nine.
No.
It was
It's
like, he is
Quark.
not a Starfleet officer, just saying.
See, I always just watch TNG, so...
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I saw opportunity to sow chaos.
Oh no, and I'm glad you did. I'm proud of you.
Don't be.
Too
I
bad.
am your father.
Don't be. You'll encourage him.
I encourage myself. I don't need your permission.
All right. Let's see. We have 3 customization options. 8 base mass. No.
Yeah, I actually lowered my base mass one.
I think I'm gonna raise my base mass.
Bup, bup, bup. Ba-dup, ba-dup.
Raise my endure and raise my dodge.
You're gonna need a high endure to deal with us. Hey!
No, I'm gonna need a high resolve.
Must resist making more Hemis.
We're not allowed to make another Hemi.
I like how we all just kind of end up gravitating towards the same thing.
I mean,
I-
are you surprised?
Okay, you know what?
It's
I'm
harder
going
than
to
Hemi.
throw I'm gonna throw a big old wrench in that right from the get-go. First of all, my first character was a mechanic gecko pilot man who basically turned into the weirdest, craziest space trucker. Don't know how I ended up there, but that's where he got. My second character was a little fellow who just wanted to deliver food for a living. Why did you have to make him miserable?
Because it's fun.
The
Because
character
it's
after
fun,
Jan.
that, the character after that is a Pulse music superstar with a weird obsession for human combat and all that old crap. And now this character is a scholar, and I don't know what else I'm gonna do with him, but he's a nerd. And I think he's going to be a nerd who's into martial arts. So he's a scholar who's focused on the physical aspect, which is
Wow,
the weirdest way to go about it. But
Wow,
I
he
like to
sounds like
think
a
of
real bore.
He sounds like a monk.
Exactly. I was gonna say he's probably some monk philosopher type, and is like super zen, completely in flying in the face of the fact that he looks like he could chew you up and spit you out. Probably could, but would never do so.
I will say though, I'm not gonna resist bioluminescence.
Why would you resist bioluminescence?
Because
Bioluminescence is
especially
great.
now, it isn't as strict about, like, the wording isn't as strict as it used to be. So it is technically hideable now. Although this character will have glowy eyes.
I think it'd be cool to play a lizard with bioluminescent tongue, so you can and
Yep, that
just
too.
a big glowing blue tongue.
That too. Just bleh. Blem.
Why would you want to make it be a lizard? You could do a frog and really mess with people.
Blem.
No, chameleon
Oh no.
with
Yeah.
a 20-foot long tongue.
Wham! Just slap
Make an
somebody
unarmed
across the
attack.
slap somebody across the room
attack
with it.
from like 6 hexes away.
Nail a dude in the face with the bright purple glowing tongue. Ah! Space goblins and space ghosts. What is this?
I'm taking friends in low places because nobody loves the Yeens.
Aw.
We have to take all of our friends where we can get them.
You're perpetuating false bullshit, and I don't appreciate it. Liar. Shake fist.
Let's see, friends in low places and
Love is just fear from the other direction.
I thought that was hate. I guess they kind of intermingle.
No. I've heard some decent arguments that hate is just misapplied love.
that's a paraphrase of Machiavelli, isn't it?
Probably.
It is better to be feared than loved, but never to be hated.
Yes, that sounds very Machiavelli.
Well, he was kind of a douchebag, so whatever.
I mean, yeah. That was kind of the point.
His logic was basically, don't be a dick and justify people hating you. Have people fear you for what you could do. Don't do it, but have that sort of Damocles make you seem unassailable.
Well, the point of Damocles was, everything could fall apart at any moment.
Yeah.
And it'd be your fault. Also be right back.
No. Okay. So, unless I'm reading this incorrectly... Oh, that was my knee. Ow.
Okay.
Okay. So, first 3 columns, 180, because I'm not just being lazy, I just actually really enjoy being balanced at the get-go.
I think I'm gonna make my character a little bit naive. Like, I have no idea what the hell's going on with the other corpse.
That kind of sounds like Grotto Roast.
Yeah.
So let me see if I get this right.
I don't know why. What's coming to my mind is like something Amish related.
I mean, that they're like the grottos of the Midwest America.
Wait, am
Also-
I doing this right? Is that written correctly?
Also, I think as much as I want to try lateral, I also want to try like melee combatant, and I admit I have a hard time imagining my character carrying like a hard edge in her teeth. as adorable as that mental image is.
Well, that's what the ankle biter's for.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget that exists!
As my first time rolling a lateral. So I did forget that exists.
Okay, well, all I know is my lizard's gonna look like a big bruiser. So bioluminescent basically has glowy eyes. I'm giving him the glowy mouth and probably something that looks like tattoos.
Okay.
Whoa.
This nerd has 4 arms.
What?
Morphism.
Cool.
Yeah. And because of that, I'm giving him commanding presence because just my mental image of this character, I want to do what he says.
I don't. I want to kick him in the shins and tell him that he owes me money. Jerk.
That's not gonna go over well. I think you're gonna end up in like 6 places at the same time.
Sure, it'll go over well.
Cause if he doesn't want to kill
I'm his
you, he can just
landlord.
pick you.
He can't tell me shit.
He can pick you up by the ankles and wrists and either just pull or shot put you wherever he wants you to be.
I'm sorry. I can never help. I can't ever help myself but imagine like all these big bruiser, scary biker types and all that nonsense, and yet when they go home, there's their mom, tiny little old lady who just beats them about the head with whatever they happen to have on hand. And it's like, yes, ma, yes, ma.
I mean,
Oh my.
I'm really tempted to that just be the kind of character he is, because I swear if I ever play the bear I made for the combat test, that's basically his thing, is he's big and scary, but he wants to violently love you. Like, if he's fighting you, his entire intent is to make you stop so you can be hugged.
He's the ever-loving bear.
Mm-hmm. I love you, why are you fighting me?
Don't stop believing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Tygon,
Yes.
would you do me a huge favor and open up the progression chart that we currently have?
Yes.
And I want to make sure that I'm reading this right, because I think I'm being a complete dunderhead. Alright. In order for me to have the first 3 columns,
That
right?
should be 180 XP.
Yeah, you should have 30 left over.
Yeah. And that means that I will be just under the second stat block in each of those, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I, for whatever reason, was like, but wait, shouldn't I be on that second stat block at the end of that? And I'm just forgetting. It's been a while since I've been there. I'm like, wait a minute, no, that doesn't make any sense. I need to double check this. I feel like I'm being really stupid. Okay.
Oh, also one thing to note: when you guys get to buying stuff,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of items, well, almost all items, now have a gear score.
Oh no, it's WoW!
Now, in the case of just items, stuff that's mostly 0.
Mhm.
No, but weapons and armor and several surgeries do have higher gear scores. It's a system to help the GM make up properly dangerous encounters.
Mhm.
Just wanted to mention that in case you are wondering.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. I was about to ask where the hacking thing was.
And your gear score will most likely be pretty low, from what I've seen in Seth's last session. Most of the gear scores were like 3, maybe 4. Of course, then there was one player who played a bioprobe who had a gear score of 25 suddenly.
Oh.
Yay, balance.
Well, it says in bold letters in the bioprobe that these are not balanced characters.
Focus. Readiness. Oh, evasion's calculated up here. That's it.
Okay, yeah, I think I know who this character is now.
Wounds.
He's really good mechanically. Like, he could build and fix most things, but he's pretty damn naive.
And you said it was the first 3 columns you can fill out with, and then
Yeah, if you can fill out the first 3 columns and then 2 in the 15 column.
okay, that's. I was just trying to remember how much I would have left over, because that's perfect. Because I was going to focus mostly on body and community, but I still wanted to actually have some damn proficiency points, which means sinking some into mind.
Right, how many games?
There, 80 credits.
Okay.
Oh, you
yeah.
can get flat bonuses to initiative now.
Yeah, okay. I already know what 2 things he's gonna get. I've heard of this and kick it a few times. I love this so much.
Okay. Well, he's looking pretty good. Pretty good. So let's see. How do I'm gonna do this.
Evil
And-
is. What's my.
Yeah, might as well put it there as well. Okay. So I took to using. Oh. Excuse me, sorry.
Gesundheit.
I took to using colored dots to denote which places I made my purchases on for my X. He is pretty balanced, but with a slightly higher mind exert and a slightly higher body exert.
Oh god, I have to transfer all this over.
What I admittedly kind of like about what I have him doing right now is something I like that we've added, and it looks like it's a mechanic that I can take a really good advantage of, just from the kind of character I'm trying to build here. Is the focus system. So this character is starting off with 6 focus.
Nice.
Exactly. Like, the only way I could have done that, if I really, really wanted to be a toad about it, I could have gotten him as much as, I think, 10.
Wow.
No, 12 actually, now that I'm looking at it. Let's see. 2 there, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, no. Starting off, you can start off with 12 focus. Yes, you're sacrificing in other places, but that's insane, considering the amount of shenanigans that could potentially allow you to do. So I think that's a pretty good risk-reward system. Focus embodies your character's ability to put their mind or body to a task at hand. You spend the points to add a +1 to dice in checks or to re-roll dice. Focus points only apply to checks made outside of combat. Focus pool refreshes daily, usually once your character sleeps, though you can attach it to a daily ritual or narrative point of some kind if you'd like to. Fight isn't refreshing once a day. Blah blah blah. Point is, that's a good way to allow a character who's generally not as strong necessarily outside of combat to perform really, really well outside of combat. Basically, I'm just saying, I like the idea, and I think it's a good implementation.
Determination you only get from the level up tree thing, right?
No.
No.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, that was-
determination is what your readiness splits up into.
Yeah, never mind. I was like, right after I asked that, I was like, wait a sec. No, this is the thing I always said I needed. It's just a place to stick it. Never mind.
Okay, I think I kind of got my stuff mostly set out. I need to do my progression chart now.
I will say, the pencil ability of the new sheet isn't that bad. Now, if I can find something I wrote.
Full abilities that you called it?
Yeah.
Honestly, kind of looking at stuff, it looks like it'd be a good game to have like in front of you. But I can't help but feel like the vast majority of these games are going to be played online.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it is.
I mean,
That's kind of tabletop gaming in a nutshell right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'd totally be down for a deck of cards though.
Yeah.
Well, and you see, the thing is like I actually have a few buddies who've been trying to get me to do a in-house Pathfinder thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say a couple of me, I mean like 6 different people who are all like, "Hey, could you GM us a Pathfinder game?" I'm like, "No, I'm busy. Busy doing what? An alpha." Like, "Oh, you're in another one of those?" I'm like, "No, it's the same one."
It's the test that never ends.
And it goes on that was about what they were saying to me, and I was just like, the thing is I have people who I know would love to do a game. The problem that I have is not that I don't have people I can't do this in, at an actual table with, print out and have physical things. No, that's not the issue. The issue is not all of them want to play the same kind of game. All of them have their own idea of what they want to do, and one too many of them I know are the kind of person who would not be willing to sacrifice what they want for someone else. Which, is kind of defeating the purpose of a tabletop game in the first place.
Yeah.
But, that's just kind of how she rolled. Hello, Mr.
Hey, Melissa.
Ah.
Hey, Millie.
Mirrors.
Hi.
Question: do we still get that free reclamation? Like, do we still start off with a reclamation?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay, yeah,
Yep,
there it is.
and 2 additional if you're a lateral, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Yes.
A lot of our character creation basics haven't changed from the very first game.
Okay.
Like, most of the basics are still the same. Just some of the details have changed.
Yeah. Well, I also have a bad habit of missing things. So I asked just to this was still there, right? I missed it, right?
Where does it start talking about the progression chart in the rules?
It's actually fairly early.
This progression chart has looked like it changed a lot from the one I'm using, so I need to reread it and figure out what's going on.
Well, I mean, it still works the same in the basics.
But I'm thinking like stat, perceive, then there's like 1, 3, 2, 6. Like...
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not part of the progression. That's just the rules. The number in the circle says the number you have in that stat, and instead of exert and perceive, you now have your stat and the perceive, and the perceive is higher. That's just a higher number.
And that's the bonus to rolls?
Yes.
That's the part I need to reread because
I mean, you should read the how checks work.
Yeah.
Which is like the first page, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
I kind of skipped over that because things like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure the checks are the same.
No, those
No,
checks.
not at all. And those have been changing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's start at the beginning, shall we?
Melissa is asking what everybody is playing.
I am playing a lateral hyena. She is a smuggler and scoundrel. Despite being Marsco, she is actually going to have a very spyglassy skill set of stealth, CQC, sabotage, and a little bit of athletics too. Actually, I think I'm gonna sacrifice athletics for communications.
I am playing a Naga snake tar. Yeah. Their, I guess, easiest description is they're Amish. Kind of.
That says everything and nothing about the character at the same time.
Pretty much.
So they're very religious?
Do all your homies
no.
agree you look good in black?
They look good in black. They're really good carpenters. They're really nice.
They
Did you build, are you making a bunch of money on
textiles.
textiles and furnaces, and some of those furnaces are far too advanced for your sensibilities in your own homes, but you're perfectly fine building them and selling to strangers.
Nah.
Double
I guess you could say the way that they change is very mechanically inclined, knows how to fix any like mechanical thing, decent with electronics, pretty naive since they grew up in a grotto, and that's all that they know. So you could tell them pretty much anything about a corp town, they'll pretty much believe it, because they know nothing better.
Which means they probably believe a lot of terrible things that aren't actually true. Or hyperbole. I am playing a haunted, multi-armed, bearded dragon. With glowy bits.
It's gonna be so interesting.
So he's gonna go fast, but he's not gonna go anywhere.
Yes. No, I didn't make him a tar. I just gave him extra arms.
Oh God! See, this entire time I thought he was a Tor that had extra arms, so I've been a little terrified.
Oh no!
Star.
No, that would just start getting into horror territory. It's like too many limbs, maybe even 3 many.
So we got a snake, we got a yeti.
Well, we know where the extra limbs went to.
Oh, my legs.
Oh God! Should I put like extra limbs on my snake tar?
Oh God!
Can you?
Well, I mean, they already have extra limbs. They've got arms.
Yeah, that's fair.
Extra.
So, and aren't you
Things are
playing
just
a
gonna
lizard
do
with
surgery.
2 arms, 2 extra arms too?
You
Yep.
could, but you'd have to do it through surgery.
Oh, fair. Well, time to spend
Plus,
all your credits.
Currently, there are no rules for multiple morphisms, and I have a feeling there won't be.
Didn't Sev say something along the lines of that's fine because you're basically just hindering yourself?
Well, I think a big part of what Sev was getting at when we had this conversation, because we talked about this as well, and that was actually part of what Guy was a bit of a test of, was multiple morphisms and how that might work and what you can and can't do. So, from the conversations that I recall, the end-all be-all here was that as long as the morphisms don't override each other in the body shape area, it tends not to overly affect the character's playability that much. Yes, you're a little bit weaker in certain areas and a lot stronger in others, but it doesn't pull them in too many directions at once. However, when you have like what Guy had, both micro and lever stance, you end up with a weird in-between station of, okay, well, what's his mass going to be? What's his body shape? How does that affect his actual combat capabilities? Those sorts of things get really screwed around with to a point that it becomes a little bit too difficult to properly balance it just on a level to actually play him, let alone have him be any good. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of why Sev might be wanting to not step into that. And I'm not putting words in his mouth here. I'm just saying that's the feeling I'm getting, and that's an idea I can agree with. because after having played a character like that and having had the headache to try to figure that out, I can see why that sort of thing would very much want to be staying strictly in the homebrew section of the guide's playbook.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Tygon?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Oh boy.
And I mean, for those cases where you just want the oh,
Alright,
just wait a second.
Oh, wait, that's my slits.
My camera is cutting out. Where you want the multiple morphisms, because you know, I'm playing a gazelle. I should have hooves and horns. You can do that now because of the morphisms that became personal quirks. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm at least that's what I'm guessing, is that most of the cases where people want multiple morphisms, it was really mostly a cosmetic thing. And in those cases, you can either do it now with a quirks, or it's something that just doesn't need rules.
Mm-hmm. And so when it comes down to actually having legit multiple morphisms, now you're at a point where that's definitely going to be something you're going to want to talk to your guide about. A good example of that is the snakes, which tend to be laterals. Well, certain laterals also tend to be micros. So you have those double stacking as a natural course of events. And that's exactly the situation that they've been since the beginning. But if you imagine if you were to mix that up with some other stuff, you could see some really wonky stuff. Like, imagine a macro Tor for a minute.
That's a whole lot of person.
Exactly. And now I know macro isn't a morphism, and I know that that's technically something you can do in the game, and the rules do allow it. I'm just pointing out that's the kind of wonkiness that you don't want to start the game off with.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
At least give it some Lord of the Rings time before we go full Monty Python.
Exactly.
That analogy.
Well, I mean, all D&D parties start off as Lord of the Rings, and they all end as Monty Python.
The only exception that I know of being Dragonlance.
Which, it was always in between the two from the very beginning.
Exactly.
Where is the fill tool on this? Surely this has some sort of fill tool.
Let's zoom this out just a wee bit. There we go. Good enough.
I need more coffee today.
Oh!
I just wrote two boob instead of two boon.
But
are you reflect? Are
I
you
had to
thinking about
spend
them
XP
titties?
for these, okay?
But
Are you thinking about them animated titties? To answer your question, Melissa, I am playing a boar, a scholar. His name's Oscar.
The Grouch.
He's not a grouch. He's actually very pleasant. He's also very, very calm.
is his last name Meyer?
No.
Okay, good, because that would get really dark.
All pork and beef sausage links.
We'll play a party that's like a cow, a chicken, a pig.
By our cowards.
A horse.
We are Captain Hot Dog.
Yes.
Get another fish in there.
Tastes delicious.
I don't want to be
Well,
Team Tasty.
At that point, you just
Team
need to have a plant.
Tasty.
At that point, you just need to have a plant-based bioprobe. Have them be wheat. Bada boom, bada big. There you are. You've got the dog and you got the bun.
I like Team Tasty. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is.
Probably because there's a
yeah.
very sick, sad part of you that's like that.
Oh man.
It just rolls off the tongue.
One thing. I'm gonna put this on the critique list later, but there's one thing about the character sheet that I don't like. There's not enough separation from your. This is your stats while armored, and this is your stats while not armored. Because I don't know why, but like since there's the whole armor changes your mass, and your mass determines your endure and invasion, there's a little bit of a sense of like kind of personal paranoia where I'm like, oh, if I change literally what I am wearing, because I can't sleep in my armor. So if I take off one thing, I have to open up my character sheet, go back, and do all of this over again, essentially. And that's that just doesn't feel good.
But that is a very easily changed thing where you just all you'd have to do is have your standard unarmored mass, and then armored mass, and just have little boxes.
No, because that would you would need, you have your base mass and total mass already. So my base mass is 5. My armored mass could be as much as 7. And if that changes, basically there's base mass and total mass, but there isn't base evade and endure and armored evade and endure on the character sheet.
I see.
So my point is that you have a bunch of mathematically derived, or I should say statistically derived, entries on the character sheets without their base counterparts, and that's concerning to me. It's not an issue; it's just concerning because the no gear level is a staple of RPGs. It's not a popular staple, but you know, like you're ambushed in your room in the middle of the night by an assassin, you know, carrying a knife. You're like, oh shit, I don't have my armor on. Hang on, let's pause the game for 15 minutes while everybody opens up the rulebooks and recalculates what their evade and endure are.
Put that on the book.
And then, yeah, that's essentially kind of what it comes down to, is that's just something that needs to be added onto the character sheet, but because it's a pretty easy fix. Are we still doing that thing where you have 8 HP that is limited basically by turn and it's mostly just wounds, or?
Yes, I don't think that has changed.
Okay. Because I just don't see HP on the character sheet.
I wish to apply wounds directly to one's pride.
Isn't that what resolve is for?
Oh heck, you're right. Well, I know what I'm doing now.
You wrap so hard that they have to make a resolve save versus taking wounds.
Okay.
Okay, I now want to try to build a character specifically around wounding their pride.
You mean a bard? Do you want to make a bard?
Yes, but without the stereotype.
Too late. It's already there.
Actually, no, I want that stereotype.
You mean without the assumption that the character is useless?
Oh, no, I was talking about the assumption where the bard is getting laid in the background constantly.
Oh,
Like, if they're not actively participating, that's what's happening.
that's not a stereotype. That's just bards.
Exactly.
See? You're perpetuating it! You're perpetuating it!
No, I said slay the dragon. That comic is so good. It just kept going and going. That's how golems were made, apparently.
Now, wasn't there something about like a rock?
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, it was pretty clever.
Yeah.
Okay. Ow!
I'm
My
asleep
knee.
right now and I can't focus.
Okay. There's my focus. There's my readiness. Okay. What else do I need? Okay. I need to make sure I have my movement. I have a +1. But what's the rest of my damn movement? What's the other stuff that determines it? Where's my damn movement determined, you bastards?
Movement
There
is your
somewhere.
base. It's determined in your morphism.
Yeah.
So
I
you'll
use
see.
determined by shape.
Yep, there we
Uh,
go.
Yep.
Got it. Found it.
I'm half tempted to get walls or floors too, but I'll wait until I have the adhesive pads. Oh wait, I did grab
Oh
adhesive
my god.
pads.
No, Rezi, you shouldn't be a bearded dragon. You should be a gecko.
Just, hi.
Just a giant gecko with 4 arms. It would be adorable.
I mean, I've already
Ow.
basically made a basilisk. Now that I think about it.
Why not just do... Like, why is it gotta be a bearded dragon? Why's it gotta be a gecko? Why can't you do one of the weird ones?
I like beardies though.
You know what?
Wait.
I wish you would do a Tegu.
Oh, Tegu are adorable. But
I
like,
wish you would. I won't make you, but holy crap.
Show me a picture and you might change my mind.
Okay, I'm gonna get you the best pictures.
Is it TEGU?
yes,
Don't you look it up yourself. I've got some good stuff.
Okay.
Tegu are really cute. They're basically dogs in lizard form.
Oh no, I could be an animal.
Back, sorry.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Melly, I
I
might.
Okay.
linked
So-
a video of an adorable day gecko.
Geckos are precious.
This is a red.
Oh.
Oh my god. They're giant big bleps.
Oh, they have the most big of bleps. Let
The
me
chubby
see
cheek.
if I can find. Oh yes, they have the chubbiest of cheeks. And by the way, as I'm about to show and prove right here, no, that's not just a subspecies thing. That's a general species trait. They all do that. All of them.
They all have the chubbiest of cheeks.
How do you know you have an old, healthy Tegu on your hands?
They're fat.
They've got fat little face.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm completely down for that, but I kind of want to make I kind of want to make him a mafia character.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You come to the day of my son.
Yes.
He's got this big old fat roll
Yes.
jiggling.
Uh-huh. You come to my house.
He just-
I share with you my cannoli. Oh
And he,
no!
like, he's got his one set of hands is steepled, and the other ones are like
He's just stuffing his
gesturing.
face.
loudly cracking underneath the desk.
No, I like
so
both.
the upper arms have to be gesturing in Italian, and the lower arms have to be folded across his chest, all grumpy.
This is perfect, but I've already gotten too far to redo this. But I love this character. This is an amazing villain NPC. Or
I
not
might
even
just steal
villain.
this. I might just steal this.
I kind of want it to be like almost anti-hero, to where it's like they're not a good person, but they're real helpful to the main party.
So they're basically what's his name? The shrew mafia don from Zootopia.
Yes.
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 That's
But
yeah,
big,
that's
fat,
adorable.
miserly.
Except he will. He actually no. He might have a skunk butt rug. I don't know.
Skunk butt rug.
Well, we've created another character on the side, guys. Good job.
Yep.
I'm proud of all of us.
All right. I
Tygon
just
looks
have to,
markedly less so.
I just have to copy down all of my stuff and buy equipment, which okay. I think this is kind of what it comes down to. I've statted my character and pretty much copied it all to the character sheet, and then I'm like, I have to buy armor, and I'm going to have to erase and change half of the stuff on my character sheet.
Yeah, having a different place for like current and then modified.
Yeah.
But base and total.
Yeah.
Base in total, because the thing that I figured out is, endure save and dodge save begins equal to your evade score, and I'm like, oh, okay, I could just copy that down, and then I'm like, oh, that means if I buy armor, I have to change 4 things on my character sheet, at least.
I'm literally just going to set and make a text box for myself because I'm a lazy butthole. And I'm gonna do that off to the side on my character sheet. Just have text boxes for that, cause fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an editable freaking document. Might as well freaking do it the way I want it.
Yeah. How much credits do you start with?
1,000.
That
Yeah.
1,000? Okay. And then I also bought, with my rank up, I bought 6,000 or 600. I wish I got 6,000.
Okay, so let's see. With I have a movement of 4, a readiness of 4, a focus of 6.
Oh no. Body armor. If you successfully kill an enemy in melee, you may dedicate an arm to wielding their body like a shield, as though you had the grip shield item. Most body shields will be considered medium to large. Dedicate 1 arm.
So you could carry 3, you could be like choking out 3 people while hiding behind them with a gun.
Uh-huh.
You can't stop me, I'm invincible!
I have an actual phalanx. I am my own phalanx.
Of involuntary participants.
Don't stop me now.
Okay, what was the melee weapon that you recommended for
Ankle biter.
ankle biter? Ba-ba-ba.
It's like the ankle biter and the motion wave extension are the 2 dedicated lateral melee weapons.
Isn't the other one the basically just the Okami shield?
That's the ankle biter.
Oh, that is the ankle biter. Okay.
Yeah, the motion wave extension is like the thing that shoots energy waves.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
stronger based on how much you move, how fast you move.
The martial arts movie weapon. Because
Hey, think I'm gonna try a cog.
That'd be cool.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yay.
Give us a rule, but we need a rule, but friend.
friend robot.
Beep boop.
I will need to look into the lore for them a bit more and all that, though.
I mean, I know a lot. You were gonna say something though, Tygon.
I was just gonna say that is fine.
How old should I make Oscar? Should I make Oscar the old man?
You should make him like. Do you want to make him like dad age or like grandpa age?
I'm thinking dad would be more appropriate because well, here's the thing. I kind of I kind of have this feeling that I really want to make him the dad of the group.
Mm-hmm. Does
So
that
it
make
depends.
Haneker the punk daughter
I don't know yet.
with her mohawk? And
I don't know yet. I have to figure out how old everyone else is first before I age him appropriately above everybody else. So he could just he's gonna end up being one of the three groups. He's either gonna be dad, he's gonna be the weird super zen uncle who they're all just kind of like, man, what kind of hippy dippy bullshit is he on again?
One more
or
thing.
He's going to be grandpa. One way or another, he's an older male figure that is looked up to in a paternal light, but the exact brand, his branding's gonna be different. I love how I'm spending more time trying to figure that out than I am on actually doing his crunching. What the hell's wrong with me?
okay.
Okay, well, the thing in GIMP is definitely working with layers and everything and editable text and. It's just a question of finding your way around the program.
Ooh, there's Cyberman. There's a talent for cybermancy. You can use malware in the middle of combat provided you own it and have a means of delivering it to your enemies.
Mhm. It's not for creating cyber zombies, sorry.
It's still cool. Also, I don't want to make cyber zombies. I don't want to reduce their essence to the negatives. I think that's how that worked.
Yeah, in Cyberpunk 2020, or the incarnation that everyone's going to be more familiar with now, 2077, it was Cyber Psycho, and in Shadowrun it was I think it was whenever your essence hit 0.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm
And
pretty sure it was negative.
In Shadowrun, when your essence hit 0, you just died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was this that event. Eventually, they added in the background. They had rules for the cybermancy, which allowed you to go into negative essence.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You just weren't in control of yourself anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you were, but there were all sorts of dangers associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the still living parts of you were extremely prone to cancer. There was you were like I don't know what it's called, but like they had this astral plane thing,
Mm-hmm.
and you were like permanently active on the astral plane, which I don't know those Shadowrun rules enough, but apparently that was a bad thing.
It meant you could be attacked. Your soul could be attacked without any reasonable way of defending yourself.
Mm-hmm. And there was this whole thing of getting lost in details,
Mm-hmm.
which could happen to cyber zombies. And they had this memory stimulator that would kick in, basically drop your memories as a way to, pull you back into the present. Strangely enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's this really nice story thing in the source book about it, where the character who became a cyber zombie, and eventually asked one of the people there, am I still alive? You are, as long as you remember. Remember what? That you're still alive.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
because I got 2 boons, I was able to nullify my faults, so now I just have a boon in athletics. Haha! Heck
Do you have any-
you.
Do you have any boons that you
Nice.
bought?
Yes, I had the 2, and so I used them to eliminate my faults. Now I have no faults! I suck at nothing! I'm decent at everything, and I'm good at one thing. And just you wait. Eventually, I'm probably going to either make him... I think I'm gonna make him a medicine man. I think I'm gonna let him heal people after he breaks them. Yes, that sounds like a good thing. You must first tear down the building if you want to build a better one in its place.
So, suddenly, because you phrased it like that, I was reminded of character of Alexander Pierce from Winter Soldier. Sometimes when you want to build a better world, you have to tear down the old one. Some people just don't get it.
See, I was just instantly brought back to Scarlet Monastery.
You're the oh yeah. I like that dungeon.
You will tell me all of your secrets.
Okay, so 1 boon from the available fresh after their name. Okay, so... Oh, I just realized that my Marsco boon would have eliminated one of my existing faults. That's right.
Then yeah, you have 2 boon.
Now I have 2.
Just,
One of
just,
them is
just don't make the same mistake I did and say 2 boob instead.
2. No, instead I'm going to put it in protocol because I am not making a ranged combat character this time around. Does not need the gun. He has feast. And that means my extra that I still have, I put in medicine. So now he heal people and he punch people. And soon, when I am smart boy, I will have him learn the psychology so he can also heal their minds as well as their broken. Frame specializations.
Oh gosh.
That's 4 cogs.
Yes, now.
Melly
Melissa was asking about it.
Well, where?
In
Discord.
Discord.
Oh, I'm sorry, Melissa. I don't pay much attention to Discord when we're doing this.
So the specialization.
I understand. Sorry, it's a little loud over here is all.
No, that's fine. So choosing a frame on page 127. Well, it should get you in the near area where we'll talk a little bit more about that.
No, that's the different frames.
Mhm.
The specializations are, I think, in the same spot where the reclamation surgeries are.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
Yeah.
My bad.
Although you do not, cogs do not get a specialization at character creation.
Really?
Correct.
Yeah. It says that specifically, but the specializations start on page 292.
Man, the checks got way complex.
It's not complex; it's just different.
I kind of like the other one, like gold 8 to win. Here's your dice, roll the pool. I mean,
Yes, the problem is that there wasn't much to play with. You know, Seth wanted a higher number. You know,
There wasn't a lot of granularity.
granular. Thank you. That was the expression I was looking for.
I think I'll be trying to make a maglev cog.
Ooh.
Oh, neat.
You're gonna float above everybody.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of liked it because of the simplicity of it.
Okay. Let me see if I get this right. So, if I'm reading this correctly, and I'm pretty sure I am, 3 customization points and 2 personal quirks. The personal quirks are separate from those 3 customization points.
Yes.
So, if I really wanted to, I could potentially put all 3 of them into +1 on my endure saves to a total of +3 on endure, and then pick any random 2 personal quirks. Or I could take all of those and put them into personal quirks if I was weird.
Yes, I think you can. I think you could do that.
Okay, I'm just making sure it's clear that I understand the rules as written.
Yeah, I'm having to relearn all of this stuff. I haven't been watching their streams, so it's all new to me.
So we got.
I can't learn without trying it a few times, so I'm just sort of copying down stuff that sounds nice and going, okay, I hope this works as I think it is, because I have no idea how to figure this out without actually trying it.
That's
Also-
how I usually do it.
I had a couple ideas that were kind of incompatible for what morphism I was going for, so I might switch to standard. Mostly because I've never run a shield using character before. And I think it would be interesting to use a blade and shield.
Mm-hmm.
Sword and board. Yay!
That, or I could go. How does dual wielding work? If it does, because I could go
For guns or stabby things.
for pretty much everything, because I could dual wield cutter gloves and then dual wield pistols too.
But it's different for each.
Wait, I thought you were lateral.
I'm debating not being one.
Let me look it up. So. Two guns. Two guns. Yeah. Okay. The big thing is that it that it gives your attack the persist property,
Mm-hmm.
so the damage sticks around. And if you have two different guns, you basically choose which one you actually use for the stats. So gives you a bit of versatility. And however, it also this might actually be new. Attacking with multiple guns downgrades your cover from half to blocked or from blocked to nothing.
So because
Because-
you have to stick more of your body out.
Exactly.
That was there last time. It just didn't come into play since we didn't.
Okay. And when you're using two close combat weapons, you can basically pick which damage property and which cover property you use. So, so you can pick whichever is best in which.
Okay.
Because usually the idea with realistically using two close combat weapons is that you're using one of them to block and the other to attack.
Yes.
I know that's the boring kind of dual wielding, but
No, but it does make sense.
Mhm.
I still like it.
Although I should note that cutter gloves technically do not count as melee weapons, so I
Interesting.
don't think those would really work for dual wielding.
Oh, I could go
Yeah.
for the full FDT set.
I'm pretty.
No, you can't because you can't afford it.
Yeah, I only have like 1,600 credits because I bought some additional credits at character creation due to
Yeah.
in the community thing. So I have 1,600, so I could get the FTD armor, which would give me
I'm-
1050.
I'm also fairly certain cutter gloves counts is a pair of gloves, not a single cutter glove. Might want to double check that.
I mean, okay, gloves are special in that way.
It doesn't really say either way with the cutter gloves, because it just says gloves melee, one hand. Spyglass cutter gloves are among the more practical left-sided glove options. Blah 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 blah. Can be held in a hand equipped with other weapons can be held in a hand equipped with cutter gloves, but only one can be used at a time. I.e., you could have cutter gloves equipped and also carry a rifle, or have a set of cutter gloves holding a handgun.
Yeah, that's what Sharkboy did because his suit came with cutter gloves.
Interesting.
I never
Quick
actually got to
question.
use them.
Where
Yes.
is techniques info in the document? Like,
Pretty much at the bottom.
okay, thank you.
Alright, so I have a debate, folks, and I'd like your help.
Yeah.
Should I go with read a book?
I like to read a
Or
book.
should I go with where's the other one? Doctorate.
Doctorate is really good if you're feeling stumped about getting into a place. It's a great fallback option.
It might stop a truck. Chuck, stop! I have a doctorate.
Also, how many FDT items are there? Because I can afford the blade, the bow, and the armor.
I would have to check. As a little update on gloves under like weapon rules. Gloves imbue unarmed attacks with various abilities, allow you to wield other weapons while having the glove equipped. Gloves can be mixed and matched, but you must declare which glove you're using when you attack. And obviously you must have both. Gloves do not benefit from dual wielding.
Okay. That makes sense.
If alone because gloves do not give you additional cover in melee.
Yeah.
Where did I put? Pull some TTI. Spyglass.
Okay, I think... Oops.
TTI, there it is. No, go ahead. I was talking to myself. I'm sorry.
The only I would basically be able to pick a FDT armor, shield, and sword, or armor, bow, and sword.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be able to get 3 out of 4 of them. 5 counting the thing that literally gives you laser eyes.
There's also FDT grenades.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. So I could get 3 out of 6 FDT options.
I mean, go for it if you want to. Those definitely need testing as well.
Yeah. No cover from range, +1 cover in close combat. FTT level 3. Reaction to incoming attack. This shield can be activated and expanded to full-size large shield. +3 cover to ranged and melee, uses no hands. Yeah, the FTT shield is awesome. That gives me 1,000 credits left over. Oh, there's no equipment list.
I had to read through all these techniques.
Hmm?
The techniques?
No, I meant regarding equipment list.
There's no place to list miscellaneous equipment in
Oh,
on,
yeah.
on the sheet.
I just realized something. Ow.
Yes.
The jeez, sorry, my knee. There's not a spot for the reclamation surgery so far that I'm looking.
Yes, there is. It is the DNA.
Oh, it's the
surgical
actual
sheet.
surgery sheet.
Yes.
That's right. I forgot. It has its own sheet. That's right. It's got its own stuff. I forgot that was there. Alright, I'm more or less on. I just need to get my my Jeer and evasion. Like, I need to just finish getting those sorted out, but I should be good from there. Because once I get that sorted, I'll have my saves all done, and then I can get my gear. And I think that is it for now. I gotta get going.
Righto.
That is perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's
Later, dude.
it is about time anyway.
Yeah, and I think we're pretty much done anyway.
Yeah, all I have to do is buy a weapon.
Yeah. So I mean, if you you guys just two things. If at all possible, if you could send me a copy of your character sheet somehow, I would very much appreciate it.
Can do.
And yeah, if feel free to tweak your characters. You don't have to leave them as they are now. Just make sure that I have an up-to-date version before next week. And again, if there's anything you feedback related, please put it on the feedback document.
Can do.
So we have something to show to Seth for this.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Other than that, anybody got anything they?
No. Just gonna wrap
I still
up.
got a
character
lot
creation.
of the work to do on mine, but I need to read through a lot of the stuff to kind of essentially have to like relearn the game because it almost completely changed.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, you should do that. That is important.
Okay, I'm going to
All
shut
right.
the things down.
Okay.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, viewers.
Later.
Wait.
Hibbity.